Well, folks, we finally made it after a bajillion years, 100 months. Episode 100 is finally here. It'll take 100 months to get here. We finally made it. 100 months. It's been so long since the last episode. It's very hard to get everyone here. One is on their way. One.
I understand.
I was
like, what are we doing this for?
I don't know.
100. Yeah.
Are we acknowledging our tribal chief right now? Is that what
we're doing? He my tribal chief. No. Wrestling, it's too expensive. Just like Game Pass, all right? It's too expensive.
$38,000 to go to WrestleMania.
The 1% is for Xbox Game Pass, all right?
Good Lord.
We're the 1% of gamers. Is that what we are?
That's it.
One.
Steve V, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, and to celebrate this, I just need everyone to take a moment of silence while we celebrate this momentous occasion with a fresh crack. Anyone want to join me?
Ooh.
Riley, I'm looking.
Oh well, I cracked that. But fortunately, I actually have another one.
I have a
drink.
All right,
I'm
so
sure
episode 100
Bubbly has been shown on this show 100 times as well.
All right, Steve, let's do it.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Oh wow! What is?
Ooh, that was sweet.
Welcome to the gaming
nice.
podcast, everybody. Episode 100 is actually just going to be an ASMR episode.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
I just want you all to listen to the bubbles.
Yeah, we're just gonna throw in every advertisers we can in this one. You know, just like this. Buy it now at Walmart.
Buy it now at Walmart.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna make it to episode 200, we're gonna have to start getting paid.
We need to start getting paid.
Codes. You get your $20 Game Pass code cards from Walmart. Buy it now.
Yeah, they're actually they haven't changed price yet, so do it.
Yeah, so there you go.
Jokes aside, though, this has been crazy that we have gone 100 episodes without hating each other.
Well, speak for yourself.
Whoa.
Apart from all of our opinions on Riley, apart from all our opinions on Riley, I mean, at least most of us have gotten.
I mean,
along.
Camille's not here, so we all know what happened.
Yeah. What's going on? There's probably nothing really important happening in her life right now.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, like nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing of note, certainly. But yeah, no, this has been crazy, and it's been really cool, obviously, getting to know everybody here and talk about gaming with every single one of you every week, or however many times or however often we do this. It's just been a crazy journey. 100 episodes is pretty wild to think.
I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about. We literally came up with this idea eating $2 hot dogs out of the Blues game.
No, not eating, shoveling hot dogs.
Yeah, we did, bro. That's true. Small.
And look where the Jays are now.
Look
what we did. Look where we started.
That's us.
That's all
they
us.
sucked that year. That was for sure.
I was gonna ask, did this sort of spawn off of like when we didn't get picked up for Squad season 2?
Essentially, I think ostensibly we could consider this a spiritual successor to Squad.
Wouldn't it be funny if they
I only have a
actually
shirt from Squad. I was never part of it.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
I was on it once.
that's true.
That's cool.
Fun fact for everyone.
Nice.
There you go.
I was
I
on
don't know
once,
which
and then-
episode.
and
I'm
then they
sure it's
hired me,
airing
so,
right now
you know.
every day. So
Probably.
probably. But Steve, what else is going on?
No, nothing much. I mean, we're celebrating a pretty cool episode, but I mean, we're in the thick of video game season. Ghost of Yotei is out today, which I mean, people should go out and play that game. I've really been enjoying it, but Call of Duty Black Ops beta
Beta's
is
coming
started.
out now.
So
Mario Galaxy.
Marvel Cosmic
I just
Invasion
got the
demo is
codes.
out. People are going crazy about that
Really
too.
good.
It really is like the big gaming season, or I guess like part 2, because you got kind of part 1 of like the game reveals and everything in the summer.
And now
this is where this is the payoff.
Yeah.
This is where you start to get everything in your hands.
it's good. I'm just I'm stoked to be here talking with everyone and just kind of enjoying the video game season. Yeah.
There you go. Steve 100, how about yourself?
I'm the same way. I'm just, I'm ranting and raving on my YouTube channel lately. It seems that's pretty much all the news. But I'm also reviewing games as much as I can. So I've got that, and I'm just excited to celebrate 100 episodes with y'all because, didn't like. I'm gonna get sentimental for a second. So just bear with me.
You didn't think we were gonna make it, did you?
No, not at all. This has been the group of friends that I desperately needed. Ever since the pandemic, I've been kind of stuck in my apartment and working from home for so long. And I'm so glad I've been able to get to know y'all over this past 100 episodes, and in this past time we've been sort of working together. And yeah, we get to hang out a lot together, and we've been at people's weddings together. We're celebrating other momentous events in our life together, and this group really does mean a lot. So I want to thank you for having me as part of this, because yeah, it truly does. It just means a lot.
Thanks, man. I mean, it's been. I feel the same way. I'm a big. I like to say I'm not a fan of Camille, and so I'm glad that we all agree.
Jeez.
I'm glad that we all agree, and that's something that we. Oh, hey, Camille's on the call.
Oh no!
Happy 100.
Yeah. We were just getting sentimental, Camille, about our 100 episodes and the friendship that we all share and the bond that we've all grown. The hot dogs.
We're friends?
Dogs.
Occasionally.
Occasionally when we need it.
At least that was consistent.
We know each other. We have that.
We know each other. We've met once or
others.
twice.
We have that.
Yeah.
We'll always have that.
I don't know why you always have to keep asking for my name every time we meet. I mean, we've met each other so many times, but
They always get confused with my name.
And that's weird
why.
because I've never been that. I always say that guy, he's a really good guy, and everyone should know him.
Yeah, that guy.
Everyone,
that guy. He's
that
so
guy.
good.
That's
Such a
my
good
boy right there. Everyone
100%.
should know him.
Yeah. Such a good guy.
At least she doesn't introduce herself to you all the time. Hi, I'm Camille. I'm like, yeah, I know who you are.
Just in case, just in case.
Right.
Yeah.
Riley, how about you though? What's going on?
I'm doing well. I just feel like it's so busy right now. To Steve's earlier point, it's like there's so many releases and there's just nonstop things coming at us. So keeping busy doing that, marketing games and all that. Yeah,
True.
Nothing. Playing Ghost of Yote, very good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Then Caboose, yourself, Yote as well.
Tons of Yote. I've been absolutely loving it. I mean, we were talking just before we went live with the show. I think again, I still got to play Expedition 33, so I imagine it's going to change my mind when I do. But as of right now, of the games that I have played personally, it is my pick for Game of the Year. But also,
Stranding?
I don't think Death Stranding's getting nominated. That's my guess. I'm throwing.
I think it's getting nominated.
I don't think it's getting nominated. If it is, then
I actually think Ghost won't get
influence.
nominated. I think Ghost won't get nominated of all the games that have come out this year. It was genuinely a really stacked year, and next year too is going to be no joke. But yeah, I've been playing a ton of Ghost of Yote. I've also just been really just hyped. Finally, after 4 years of waiting and being patient, we got a new look at Wolverine. It looks
so
awesome.
Good.
So
yeah,
it was
the
really
reveal was amazing. It is all that M-rated glory that I was hoping for out of a Wolverine game. And honestly, everything that they're showing so far, I'm really, really impressed by. I can't wait to learn more. And I'm also just glad, too, that open line of communication, them just saying straight up, hey, we're going to give you more information in the spring of next year. At least that way we don't have to keep our hopes up or anything for something at the Game Awards. Yeah, it's just been great. Getting a new trailer for Wolverine, playing some Ghost of Yote, lots of PlayStation goodness in this month that leads up to our 100th episode. So I've been feeling good.
Awesome. Sammy?
It's the beginning of the month, so all I've been doing is working and sleeping, but trying to play games. Just in between that, it's funny because me, Angelica, and Emily have a little book club going, and I think I've been
she's been
stuck
telling
on
me.
this
Did
book.
you guys know this?
Yeah, she's been telling me.
What is this
She's been
lore?
telling me.
So
What book are you reading?
I'm reading. It's called Anathema. And then there's a second one, which I already have because it came out last week and I didn't know until Emily told me. But
Wait, there's a second one?
there's a second one. It just came out. So I'm trying to finish reading that. I know Emily's trying to read book 3 of ACOTAR now, but I don't have time this week, and it's really sad. Between that, playing games, TFT has a new half set. I'm trying to play a game to review, and I'm stressed, but I'm chilling, as is the millennial way, and really happy to have made it here at the 100th episode.
There you
Hell
go.
yeah.
Woo!
And then Camille, nothing's going on with you, right?
Yeah.
Not preparing for anything big, are you?
No.
Nothing.
No.
This is what I was trying to tell you guys.
No.
Oh,
happened.
I have the end of NASCAR season
Ooh.
is coming
There you
up,
go.
so
That's a big milestone.
that's a huge milestone. So that season has wrapped. A lot of the drivers were just insane. This season is so unpredictable. So I'm happy to see who will be champ. And then honestly, just like cleaning the house, trying to figure out life, trying to exist. I actually was napping before that's
wow.
why like the nap.
That's why you're like, I need 5 minutes. You're waking up.
That's why. Well, I told Adam to wake me up an hour ago. He did not. So technically, it's his fault.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
ready to blame him.
Technically.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'm,
Yep.
I'm here, and I'm probably way more tired than you. So
I wasn't gonna say it, but Riley, you look very sleepy.
way more
You look very
tired.
sleepy, Riley.
You look
yeah.
very sleepy.
Yeah.
Riley, you probably got a lot going on, right?
Yeah.
Like, you,
I'm
I imagine
busy.
you're
I'm a busy
so
boy.
busy.
Yeah, it's so busy all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so,
Way
so,
more busy
so
than
tired.
We're just so lucky to even have him like here for this. That's
I know. I didn't think he was gonna make it. You know.
Thank you for blessing us with your presence.
Why
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
think we delayed it for 2 weeks? Because
I
it
know.
was
Well,
Riley.
yeah,
It's just
Riley.
Yeah,
Riley.
it was hard to book.
That's why we call him Princess.
Yeah,
Princess
we're
Riley.
not starting that. I hope.
Princess Riley.
Cool.
Trying to,
That's
get in the good
terrible.
graces of Princess Riley. That's really
Yeah.
what my life is.
Yeah.
That's what we're all really striving
Well,
towards.
you failed, so.
Damn.
Damn.
And then, I'm
Jeez.
starting my journey in Yote. I just got the chance to dive in there.
Heck yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
guess you can call us the Yote 7.
We did not murder anybody's family.
No. Just a disclaimer. No, not at all.
That didn't
Yeah.
We
happen.
just burned a tree down. That's about it.
Yeah, that's
Oh
all.
yeah, you just a little arson.
Oh, I
Arson.
missed
They
that.
murder-
Oh,
the park
you guys didn't even
and
tell
burn
me
down
you're
a
gonna do
tree.
that. What?
Yeah.
Well,
Now there's apparently
I mean,
everyone
you
keeps
know,
talking
that
about this
just-
ghost in the lands. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah,
with that.
just don't go to High Park. Just saying.
Oh,
just don't show your
man.
face at High Park.
My favorite park.
Yeah, have you noticed there's just all these concerts, like pop-up concerts happening in Trinity
left and
Valley?
right.
Yeah.
Left and right.
Mhm.
It was like a K-pop group just performed there.
Wasn't
Like-
Daniel Caesar just did that? Like
Yeah,
literally.
Daniel Caesar was
That's
there.
a name I haven't heard in years.
I know, right? Apparently, he
I
just
never-
did a
I
free
never heard
pop
of that,
or
yeah.
a free concert or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what's not free? Game Pass. In fact, it's
God.
going up. $3 for the
$33.99.
You guys broke this
in
down.
Canada?
You guys broke this down in the chat too. What is that in
See,
Canada?
Kabisi
$33.99.
ignores us.
$33.99 Canada. It's
Emily
Hey,
ignores us. He's the one
I
that deals
do
with it.
not.
That was-
All the time.
Whoever said that.
Someone
I
did
have-
the yearly. What was that? I saw it in the chat briefly.
So in the US, it's $360.
Oh.
For us, would be like what, $370?
I
Yeah.
posted
That
in
would
the
be
know-
chat.
like
It's
isn't it 420? 420?
what?
So here's the
Where's Seth Rogen?
breakdown. So Ultimate in Canada is $33.99. Comes with now 400 games, new games on day one, EA Play, Ubisoft Plus Classics, streaming games, earn up to 100,000 rewards, in-game benefits, and online. Premium is $17.99 with 200 games, Xbox first-party games publishing within 12 months of launch, streaming games, and 50,000 points of rewards per year, in-game rewards online. And then $13.99 for Essential, which only has 50 games, no first party, obligations.
Jeez.
Cloud streaming, because it's now out of beta across all 3 tiers: online console play, in-game rewards up to 25,000 rewards.
Which one of them only gets like premium cloud? Is it just ultimate?
That's ultimate gets the
yeah.
You
It's
get
the fast streaming or whatever.
But all
Premium
three has cloud options.
Yes, you get priority streaming if you're on ultimate.
Right.
Yeah.
What do we start at? What do we start at?
So I actually looked it up because I had to like find out because I was trying to figure out like what the difference was like as far as like how many games would pay it off.
Yeah.
It's when Ultimate launched with Game Pass, it was Xbox Game Pass plus Xbox Live Gold. This is when they combined those two together. It was $14.99. And this is back in 2019 when they
and that's US or Canadian?
That was US. It was about $17.99 Canadian.
Yeah, okay. And now we're basically
$33. Yeah. And then, by the way, the US also gets Fortnite as well.
They get Fortnite.
We don't know.
Yeah, whereas
we have
Canada
that here.
doesn't.
Yeah.
So
we're paying more for less.
They don't, or they didn't. Like we
The other thing I want to bring up
contextually,
the other thing that I want to bring up contextually is kind of jumping off what Steve. There's a graph that Kotaku put out, and it's essentially going all the way from 2017 when Game Pass Ultimate launched up until now. It took from 2017 until mid 2019 for them to go up from $10. This is all US, mind you, but from $10 to $15, and then that kind of was stagnant throughout all of COVID up until mid 2023 when it went from just like I think $16.99 up until $20 in mid 2024, so a 1 year gap, and then another 1 year gap. It went from $20 to now $30. So this is the biggest spike, and also one of the smallest gaps in between a price hike.
50% increase.
50%, yeah.
So this is after raising the price of their console twice this year.
This is also hot off the heels of them like boasting about how profitable it's been.
Yeah,
right?
Like it's like earns $5 billion for them, which
that's
I like.
Such a bad look, man. It's such a bad.
The
look.
website to cancel was crashing yesterday.
It crashed, yeah.
Yeah.
But with that, I mean,
yeah, sorry.
No, please go ahead, Camille.
No, I'm just looking at that graph too. Like, I'm trying to think as well, like, because obviously, I think for when they launched GamePod, Still waking up.
It's all good.
Game Pass,
Still waking up.
They also obviously were pushing day one. It was Gears 5 and Crackdown, I think we saw in 2019, which would kind of like, I guess, make sense for that price hike.
Isn't Recore part of that too?
No, that was way before.
That was way before.
Wasn't Sea of Thieves
doesn't play everything? Yeah, play everywhere.
Wasn't Sea of Thieves, I think, a launch game for like day one of Game Pass kind of thing?
It definitely was in Game Pass as like the main selling point initially.
I think that was I think that's what they launched with in 2017, if I remember correctly. 2018, something like that.
Obviously, we have to look at the history of like day one Game Passes, but also the struggle Xbox has had with the success of those games as well. And I know we touched on this yesterday when we were talking in the chat, but does this really build trust with like consumers that like they
definitely not
games that are gonna be like AAA quality that you'll want to play that makes sense for why you're paying $33.99 for Game Pass.
So I had to break it down because, again, like I said, I wanted to figure out how many games do you have to play for it to basically pay for itself. And I'm talking having significant progress in the game, not just you start it and then you play for an hour or two and then you stop it. I'm talking actual if whether you finish the game or you get significantly further in or you put a bunch of hours in. And at the time, only as far back as 2019, when they introduced Ultimate with that pricing at that price at that time, $15. This is American, by the way, so that was the only way to be able to do it. At the time, basically the price of games were about $60. I kind of sort of pictures at that. It was you only had to play 2 to 3 games a year in order for it to pay for itself, and that's why it was the greatest value in gaming, was because you only had to play a couple of games because there was going to be so many other games you're going to want to try and want to be able to play. That was the ideal. That was the great thing. You have a library of hundreds of games that you can play for just a small subscription a month. Now at $70 per game, at $34 now, you're having to play at least 5 games a year.
Right.
How many games did Xbox come out with this
Gonna
year?
be, like, I didn't look into that as far as like this year, but I mean this year they have released quite a bit of Xbox games. Even this month alone, they're releasing at least 3 with Outer Worlds 2, Keeper, and
Black Ops.
Black Ops,
Grounded,
Vowed.
Well, I was talking about even just this month. There was another one that I'm blanking on right now.
They're publishing
Ninja
Ninja
Gaiden.
Gaiden.
Publishing Ninja Gaiden. That's right. Yes,
that's
thank you.
Outer Worlds 2 is
so-
also.
You still need to play significantly 5 games. That's like if you play a game a month, that's basically you have to play for at least 6 months out of the year, just consistently, just to be able to make it worth it. And right now, I think we got to take off that greatest value in gaming moniker anymore. It definitely isn't.
So
It's gone.
Sammy put in the chat here that we were looking at after tax somewhere in the range of close to $500 a year.
Yeah.
Which is like that's absurd. Like that is crazy.
I have a question.
Okay.
That we're not gonna discuss. Now let's price those games at $100.
Right.
Yeah.
Does this become a good value?
Well, this is what I was looking at within the next like calendar year, and we're talking like the most marquee of marquee games that Xbox is producing. Starting this month into the next year, you have Call of Duty, you have Fable, Forza, Gears E-Day, potentially Halo. Right? Let's just call it that already.
Okay.
Can you honestly go to any of like the people outside of the bubble, the outside of the gaming bubble, and say like, you're going to be invested so much in these 5 games that you're going to spend $500 on a subscription, on an ongoing subscription for Game Pass? I don't think that a single person with outside of the gaming bubble, outside of like the enthusiast sphere, gives a shit about Xbox Game Pass at this point.
And
like,
that's
it is so priced out of
5.
a household at this point.
I absolutely agree. I think like, even if they were priced at $100, which I mean, that would be insane for those games. Especially the fact that they need to build trust with their IPs, in-house IPs. Xbox do not price their games at $100. You're going to lose a lot of players that way. Sure. I think, it's definitely hard to win over. And we were, the casual crowd for this. Like, I think it will be something where Game Pass will not even be a discussion for like families. Families will look at this and be like, oh, how much a month? How much a year? Oh no, I'll just buy you that one game and then we'll see what other games you like from there and I'll surprise you on your birthday, kid.
That's if you can find an Xbox. They don't even have them in stores.
That's true. But also too, it's like there isn't like didn't they all were experimenting with a family plan? Did that ever come out?
That was just a rumor.
Okay, I thought I'd heard them talking about it at some point. That they were looking, or at least they
demoed one
it or something.
In one country, and I
think it was Mexico.
Yeah, and so who knows if that has now changed because of because I can only imagine the price of a family plan at that point. But it's getting to. I watched a video from IGN actually that just today that they put out, and that they described this current generation for Xbox as the generation of greed, because we've had pricing. This is again, I know the global economic market has a big sort of thing, and it's not entirely Microsoft's fault, but it definitely is not not entirely their fault, because you have 2 price increases for their console. They've had several price increases for their Game Pass. They've had layoffs. They've had studio closures. They've had game cancellations. They have not. They keep anytime that they try to build any momentum with any games that announcements that they've had, they always get so much momentum out of their showcase that they put out each year. Yeah. But then it's like the next moment they do the Bart Simpson meme of stepping on stepping on rakes all the time. Like it just they're constantly finding a rake to step on, and they can never and it's just basically and then that whole tone deaf of saying, oh, we made $5 billion off of Game Pass, and then
the next day you're raising the price.
They raise the price. It's ridiculous. And then we're also looking at the ROG Ally. It's going to be $1,300 Canadian for the best one.
I'm glad you brought that up as well, because games that are not native to the Ally, you have to have Game Pass to play those games.
Yeah.
So how's that gonna work? I don't You basically make me spend $1,300 plus $500 for Game Pass
It's
to stream games to the ally.
It is so frustrating because I imagine for people who are still like they swear allegiance to Xbox, it is getting harder and harder to find a defense for some of the decisions that have been made, especially in this year when it comes to layoffs, studio closures, and now in this instance, the price hiking of Game Pass, which, like for me, the biggest talking point is how soon this comes after they were hyping up how much profit they had made on Game Pass and how good of a business it is for Xbox. And then they're like, oh yeah, like we're making so much money off of it. It's doing so well for us. It's extremely successful.
Yeah.
Also, you're going to have to pay just a little more for it now. It is completely tone deaf in my opinion.
Quick question. Did they release dollar amounts to their success with Game Pass? Or
They never do. They never will.
No.
So my thing, it's like, you don't even have to say anything. Just if they did not do that, this is horrible news, but it wouldn't look as bad.
Yeah. Well, I think to your point, Camille, and this is why I've kind of been disillusioned with the whole Xbox Game Pass Ultimate thing ever since Call of Duty landed and was brought into the fold. And the conversation since last year is that was supposed to be the game. That was supposed to be the game that got them to the mass adoption point, and it didn't. And we saw that. And yes, they can come out in January or after January and say, since January, we've seen, record profits or whatever, but it's still not to that point. Now we're seeing, to Marcel's point earlier, people are canceling. So what we're now seeing is that despite Call of Duty being there, despite what I would consider a pretty strong year on the software side from Xbox, people are looking at $30+ and saying that's too much for me.
Well,
so sorry, Camille. So they've reached a cap. So to me, I look at the future of Xbox Game Pass and I say, Forza's not going to do it. Halo's not going to do it. Gears of War is not going to do it because you've already reached that market cap where people are like, this is too expensive for me. So what is the value proposition moving forward? Because it's not games. It's not in-game benefits. It's not cloud gaming.
There isn't any value.
You can't grow it.
What it is
Banjo 3.
Banjo 3.
That's it.
No.
That's it.
Banjo 3.
But
realistically, you've already reached a market cap where people are like, I'm speaking with my wallet. I'm going to walk away, and maybe they'll stay within the Xbox ecosystem. Maybe they'll just buy games a la carte like we all used to, and that's going to be fine for Xbox in the long run. But as far as Xbox Game Pass goes, I do not see how this thing grows.
Well,
I don't even an addendum to that.
Exactly what I was saying yesterday. I don't think it is. I don't think the plan is for it to grow. I think when you look at all the moves that they've done, they are definitely trying to make back the money from buying all these studios and closing them down, then laying off people, all that money that they spent, all the heat that they're getting from Microsoft proper. That's what this is. They're just trying to make back as much money. I don't think they're going to be as invested. They may continue with cloud, and maybe Game Pass just is that, in 5 years from now. But I think that's the play. And who knows, firstly, the Call of Duty move, I would have said was bad timing, just because when they revealed that, we were still waiting for. Wait, did they reveal that at the when was that deal done?
They just dropped that in a press release, but I think it.
But the deal completed in January.
January of
I think also
2023.
Last year, yeah. No. This
It
year.
was last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah,
okay.
it took a long time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
Because last year was the first year that Call of Duty was in Game Pass.
Yes, right.
Yeah. We have a new COD coming up this month that is also going up against a huge Battlefield. So it's going to be interesting as well how those numbers sway when we learn more about Battlefield and players maybe going into Battlefield rather than Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I think they're going to feel a real hit with that. And that's why it's just so disappointing, because this just blatantly is, I think, a money grab from Xbox to see what money they can make up, because I think the plans for Game Pass isn't that bright, and that's sad to see.
But also, like, even it completely devalues the play day one on Game Pass that they've been touting. Because not only they don't care anymore but that was always a big marketing. Anytime there's a showcase, it's like play day one on Game Pass. But we can't even trust that anymore because all those same day ones are fucking going to PlayStation. Like, I don't care that you're basically like they're bringing these other consoles. I'm not a console wars kind of guy, but it's like when you're one of your biggest things that you constantly keep putting down onto players is like day one on Game Pass, day one on Game Pass. Well, is it day one on PlayStation too?
I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that's a problem.
Well, I'll tell you why it is.
Game Pass, but if Game Pass was affordable and it was day one on Xbox Game Pass, still day one on PlayStation, but you're getting a better deal on Game Pass, it wouldn't have mattered. That would have won people over.
Yes, but also this is what Xbox has essentially done is they've conceded the console war. They've straight up said, that's it. We know we've lost. We know a majority of people just play on PlayStation, so we need to make some form of profit, put Gears of War on PlayStation. It's like their only avenue of winning. Whereas, like, you guys bought Bethesda. You guys bought Activision. Xbox, fight back. Like, you have the tools to fight back. You have the tools to actually make this interesting and incentivize players to want to buy an Xbox. But when you just concede and you realize, oh shoot, everyone's just buying a PS5 anyways, or everyone's just buying Call of Duty on PlayStation or PC anyways, you're like, well, we need to have some sort of profit coming in. We need to have something that looks good to the investors and the shareholders. Let's bump up the price of Game Pass for all the people that forgot they're even subscribed to it so that we can make just a little bit of extra change out of that. They know that people aren't going to be happy when they hike up the price.
And that's why I don't think this is an Xbox conceding. I think this is a Microsoft forcing Xbox to concede.
Maybe.
You know, like,
I could see it as that too, yeah.
Also, like, buying all those studios, it was all at the same time. Like, what is the timeline for actually showing success? Like, I don't understand how that plan went through, because it's like, so you're telling me all these games that you want to make that are gonna be great with these studios, these projects are coming out in the next 5 years, all of them?
Well,
like,
to be fair, there was a pandemic. I'll give Microsoft that one. They bought studios in 2017 thinking that everything would be hunky-dory in 3 or 4 years.
Right. They announced the Bethesda deal that was happening in January of 2021. I remember this specifically because that's when the billboard that had like Young and Dundas, it went up the same day like as this happened. And so there was that, and then I think it was like not too long after that, I think it was like 2021 or still 2022 when they announced the Activision deal. But also too, like, Bethesda has literally been propping up Xbox since then. If you think about all of the big hits that that Xbox has had over the past little bit, it's been Bethesda. And if you want to even narrow that down even further, it's literally been Obsidian, which, like, not necessarily Bethesda, but it's like they're the Insomniac of Xbox. But kind of going back to what I was originally saying was that you're like, I don't care that these games are coming to PlayStation. Hey, it means more players can be able to play these really cool games. But the thing is that, again, it just devalues the what we were told what Game Pass was going to be. It was going to be day one games on, like, exclusive games, Xbox games on. You can play it day one with the subscription. You can have access to hundreds of games from across the industry, from indies to third parties to other Xbox studios, and it basically they've devalued and put a lot of mistrust that we don't know what Xbox is going to do even 6 months from now. They say one thing. I'm not saying that they lie or that they're purposely lying to consumers, but they changed their minds so much over the past like 14, 18 months that I don't trust whatever Xbox is going to say from here on out.
This was my conspiracy theory, and this is like my big tinfoil hat theory that I had ever since I saw the news, and I started really like analyzing it. And to me, I feel like talking about like the conceding, or even like to a certain extent like trying to tap as much market value out of what subscribers they still have left. I truly believe that they already know that they're not going to be able to expand and get the mass adoption that they need for this. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to beat the clock and get as many dollars out of whoever's willing to buy into it before Grand Theft Auto comes out. They know 1000% that the people who are like on the fence or maybe kind of trying to, tangentially subscribing to Game Pass are going to bounce and go to their next forever game the moment Grand Theft Auto comes out.
Yep.
They're not going to get a single penny outside of that 30%.
And that's I'm wearing that tinfoil hat with you, but that's my problem as well, like that I've had with streaming services ever since I downloaded and was starting to play Kingdom Hearts on Xbox Game Pass, Kingdom Hearts 2 on Xbox Game Pass. And I had to take a break because, work got hectic. I was traveling a lot. Come back to it. It was gone from Game Pass. Could not finish it off, right? And this is the discussion. Like, I know I'm joking with that story, but it is that conversation again. You're investing in these services that, yes, you may forget about. And yes, you may have access to games, but maybe you're not touching them because you're playing new games that are on other platforms or third-party titles that are not on Game Pass. Is it worth it in the end? Like, that is streaming services worth it? Like, I find this question, even with everything that was happening on the Disney side of things over the last few weeks, is it even worth it to have these streaming services? Yes, there's the shows that I love to watch, but it's like, I even find myself in like streaming services overload where I'm just like, there's so much content here where I'm not even touching all of it. Like, I need to downsize.
Well, what I think is so funny, and sorry, Steve, I just want to point this out, is that we were talking about like, what's the value proposition of like how many games you have to play versus the annual investment. And you talk about something like a Disney Plus or a Netflix or something like that. And I know budgets and the money put into these projects totally different between film and television versus video games. But to extract as much like the same value as a 1 month subscription to Disney Plus, you would have to watch like half a season of The Office, because when you look at like a DVD collection or a movie that you go to, I don't know, Best Buy or something, get a Blu-ray. Blu-rays are what, $30?
Yeah.
The value proposition of like, I'll just stream unlimited content from Crave or Disney Plus and everything. That's a no-brainer when you look at physical media versus digital media. But when you have to be like, you have to play 5 games and really play these 5 games. I don't know. I don't see the same consuming patterns with games versus digital media.
I think the idea of being able to stream games or being able to play games from a subscription service however much you want is, I think, a good idea, even in this current economic sort of like turmoil that we're all in, because as games get more and more expensive to make, and we still don't have a proper solution to balance out the cost of development versus also keeping people employed and working on and making great games without sort of the corporate capitalism kind of coming in. I'm kind of avoiding that specifically, but I think it's still a good idea. And because Camille just can't even look at me anymore, that's why. So upset. Just turn off the camera altogether. I think the idea is still there. That I think is great. But right now, like Xbox has been kind of ruining that sort of ideal by making the cost too high. By basically piecemealing or taking apart the different things that made Game Pass a good idea. When they initially launched Game Pass, I always remember when Phil Spencer announced this, I was like, this is a really cool idea. It's like you have a library of games that you can stream at any given time for a subscription. You get we want to have games day one on Game Pass, and we also want to do cloud streaming, so you can be able to play on anywhere you want that has an internet connection. And that was the 3 main promises, and they've bungled every single one of those promises. They've launched them, yes, and now we finally have clouds gaming out of beta. We have the games that are coming out on day one. We have the large library, but now we're at a point where the cost is just too high. And I don't want to be that whole the rent is too damn high meme, but it is what it is, and it's as we said before, it's that hard line that it's getting to the point where it's just becoming really expensive. Xbox had an opportunity to continue that meme of the best value in gaming, And they didn't have to necessarily like to basically make that cost more. Yes, the hardware, that's a different thing because there's actual manufacturing that has to go into it. There's a lot more that has to go into the actual putting together the box for you to be able to play. Yeah. But the idea of Game Pass, there's not that much. Yeah, you have to have the maintaining of the games. You have to get the games. You have to basically market it. Yet there is costs involved in it, but it's far less than hardware.
Yeah.
And you could have done it. You could have been the best. Like you could have been that beacon in the video game industry to be like, you know what? Everyone's increasing their prices. We're keeping ours the same. 14, $15.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's so frustrating that it's gotten to this point because like you said, Steve, the ultimate like ace up your sleeve as an Xbox fan for the longest time was saying, yeah, you know what, you get all these games and this and that and the other, but we still have the best value in video games with Game Pass, and it was a true statement at one point in time, but it slowly becomes like, well, at least you get all these games for this much per month, I guess. You know, like it's like
1,000 V-bucks.
Yeah, month. Like that argument becomes more
selected
difficult.
Countries.
And you're talking about the rent is too damn high. Now I'm looking at Xbox and saying that they're going to get their rent when they fix this damn door. You know, so like let's bring the price down a lot. Thank you.
That was good.
But so that brings me to the question that I wanted to ask everybody is, with all this controversy and with everything that's going on now and the response to what they have done here, do they walk this back at all, or you think they're just going to stick to
I don't
their
think
guns?
they can.
I don't think they can,
and I don't think they can because they've partnered with third parties to enhance the value. If it's a Fortnite
I think there is a small possibility because they already did that for Outer Worlds 2. They were going to increase the price and then they walked that back. So there is still that
with a single game.
That is true. Yes.
Single
studio. They're in.
That's why it's not a non-0% chance, but it's like it's pretty low.
It's very different.
I would point out
Riley,
I would point out that they did do the same thing when they were like, oh, Xbox Gold. When it was still there, still called that, they were going to increase that, and everyone was like, "Nope, this is it.
Yeah,
I'm canceling."
It was in-house, right? Like a lot of the offerings of Gold were in-house, right?
Oh, for sure.
Now it's so convoluted, especially. Also, this whole tier system is so convoluted. The fact that we have to like search for details of like what this means, it's so bad.
We need 2 tiers, folks.
Yeah,
even their marketing message was like, "This is what everyone asked
Riley
for."
Loves the price hikes.
I'm like, no one asked for this. Like that was their marketing message. Like, you guys, we heard your feedback. Everyone asked for this. I'm like, no, we didn't. Like,
no, we didn't.
We never asked for Ubisoft to be lumped in or anything. I never remember that.
You're telling me you guys didn't want to pay more for this thing?
No.
What? It's ridiculous. It's really sad to see. Like Xbox just continues to kind of dig their own grave, and now like we've gotten to a point, right, where they have boasted and talked so much about how they want everybody to be able to play their games that if ever we got to a potential endpoint where the next Elder Scrolls was exclusive to Xbox and PC, it would cause such a massive uproar where that should have just been the plan from day one. That should have just been like, we're buying Bethesda because we're making the next Elder Scrolls exclusive to Xbox. We're buying we're buying Activision because we want to bring a lot of exclusivity for Call of Duty over to Xbox. Maybe not entirely exclusive because that's just too big of a game, but DLC or maps, that's sort of the same deal that we used to get back in the 360 and PS3 era. Like these sorts of ideas, they worked and they were effective and they got people to want to subscribe to the console of Xbox. It got that, like, for as much as we joke about the console war and how people shouldn't be swearing allegiance to one console, that competition is healthy. It is good. Yes. You need Xbox in the race to make it so that PlayStation is, they got to work. Right? Now because PlayStation is so far ahead,
competition breeds innovation.
Yeah, because PlayStation has just completely dominated the market from the PS4 era, now leading into this new Xbox and PS5 era. They don't even need to bother. Like they have all these plans for these live service games, and it took so much development time away from these studios that wanted to make maybe the games that they love to make.
And huge hit for
and
consumer
and they were like,
trust.
okay, it didn't work, just cancel it. And you know what, guys, take your time on these big first party games that you want to release for our console. Let's just wait and give it a couple more years before we have a really strong library of games for the PS5. Like that's what happens when you let these guys just kind of run away with it. Like they've completely owned it. What's the deal?
When it was coming out that Activision would be bought out by Xbox, and that PlayStation was like, whoa,
exactly.
whoa.
I know there was a lot of people were scared.
Because of the monopoly that Xbox could have had, right? And they were in a position, like you said, to really make that shift in the console wars and to make it even more competitive and really put PlayStation on their toes. But they totally flopped it. I really hope that this is going to be, because I really don't think I was going to ask you guys, do you think there is any coming back without decreasing the prices? Like, do you think there's any IP or IPs that could really save this in the future? And I think we all kind of agree.
No, that's the thing. I would have even with the idea of potentially of say like Halo, and we're supposed to hear some big huge news of the future of Halo by the end of this month, but not even then, not even with Halo, I think is going to be enough to be able to be like, yeah, Game Pass is worth it. And there was the thing that I was just thinking about just now. Xbox is kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde situation right now. There's one side of Xbox that I truly do believe is there from Phil Spencer and all the executives that are there. They do care about the players. They care about the players. They do care about the games that they have on Xbox. We hear that all the time. And even from when I've had actual conversations with Sarah Bond or Matt Booty or Phil Spencer, you hear the passion that they have for the players and for the games. But then you have the Hyde aspect of Xbox, the Microsoft Xbox, where it's all about business. It's all about making that dollar. It's all about that we need to be able to maximize our profits from each and every consumer that we have. And I feel like that there's probably going to be an article, whether it's a Jason Schreier investigation or something else, that there's going to we're going to find out that for the past several years, there's an internal struggle within Xbox that is, and right now, unfortunately, the Hyde version of Xbox is winning out, and who knows if we're going to be able to get that trust back and be able to get that Xbox that they care about the players that we used to think that.
Well, we've seen this already with Microsoft.
Well, and I would say that would also be the blame of Xbox and the heads of Xbox, because they had to have guaranteed great games to come out to win consumers over, to win the heads of Microsoft over, to make it justified that this is where they want to be and this is why. And they just failed to do that. Unfortunately, that's also the business side. They just failed at what their goal was. It was mixed messaging. It wasn't a consistent business plan, and it kept shifting and closing studios before they even had the chance to really even get off the ground.
That's why I'm saying it's the Jekyll and Hyde. It's it's the struggle of one hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing.
But like I was mentioning, we've seen this before with Microsoft, I should say, especially on the Mixer side of things. They bought all these streamers, and then just one day they were like, "All right, pull the plug. We're done." And no one knew. No one saw.
And had to pay $35 million to Ninja.
And
Shroud.
Tech company move. Look at Google. All of the things that they invest in, and they're like, we're not going to do that anymore.
Tripped on the plug.
Here's the thing
that's
too.
A classic tech company move.
You're absolutely right. It's 100% tech move. We've seen how many things that Google cancel over the course of its history.
That has been successful, which is crazy.
But
Google Wave.
The thing is, we're talking about a company. We're not talking about like a bootstrap, mom pop kind of company here. We're talking a company that has profit share of trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
And yet and it seems as if they're about ready to board up Xbox because they can't afford to be able to keep anything going. It just the math ain't mathing.
But they do it to themselves. I don't understand.
That's the sentiment of a lot of investors, a lot of tech companies that are getting into gaming. They're still trying to find the value as the gaming industry is still struggling coming out of COVID, right? Like that it's around the board. We're seeing studios close that are not associated with Xbox, right? And it all comes from that decision. It's just because it's such a big staple in gaming, because they have the hardware, because they own all these studios, it really is making a huge wave in gaming. So it sucks. The whole thing sucks.
Yeah.
Can I say something controversial now?
Go for it. What's your hot take, Riley?
So my hot take is
We reached 100 episodes, so if it cancels us, that's fine.
This is it, yeah.
We're already under syndication. We made it.
I think that leadership at Xbox is not as great as gamers think they are. If you look at the Game of the Year nominees since 2014, outside of Psychonauts 2, which they acquired mid-development, and Deathloop that they required when it was basically done, they have not had one game nominated for Game of the Year.
Yep.
So that is, you cannot launch a service when you're just making good games.
Right.
Some of them are great, but they
games.
never get the nod.
Okay games.
It's not good enough.
7 and 8. It's what they got.
It's just not good enough. Like, if
when
you
you think about like
your service,
when you think about
like,
the general Xbox consumer, it's Minecraft kids and like Call of Duty bros. Besides those two IPs, who's buying an Xbox? Who's really invested in those console games?
Yeah,
and
Xbox
even
Game
then,
Pass
that's
is like the Prime Video of streaming services, where it's like, I could go in there and I could watch Fallout. I could, maybe watch an episode or two of Lord of the Rings, but it's not HBO.
Yeah.
Here's a question I've been kind of like thinking about.
Oh, there you go.
Apple TV. Hey, Apple TV.
If you got Ted Lasso on Xbox Game Pass, then
now we're talking. Now we're talking.
They should just need to get shows on Game Pass.
That's what they need to do.
Honestly, though, that would be pretty. That would be pretty cool.
Here's the question.
Like a Halo show.
Here's a question I've been kind of like thinking of is do we see? I mean, the PlayStation and Nintendo is kind of like they are outliers because they seem to keep going with the sort of the console cycle. I have been thinking that PC gaming is going to win out overall because even games that are like 5 years old can play the games that people are playing now, which is Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, even Call of Duty to a certain degree. We're like, I think I've said at the beginning of this year that I think the PC game is going to be kind of like become extremely dominant over the course of this year. And it's becoming more and more relevant, like prevalent that, I mean, I don't know. It's because we've got Nintendo. They're charging an arm and a leg for pretty much everything and nickel and diming everybody with the Switch 2. PlayStation is they're still charging the $70 per game, and they're not also immune to. They've also had price increases for their consoles. And who's to say that they're not going to do that at some point? We've already seen them increase the prices for the PlayStation Plus over the course of the past few years. But the thing that's been successful has been PC gaming, with like the fact that we got a game, like one of the most anticipated games of probably a long time was Silksong launching at $20 a pop. And if you already have an okay PC, not even like a high end or a decent PC, just an okay PC, you could probably play Silksong for $20. And that's a far better value right now than probably even any other of the big three, Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo.
I would argue that we're already there.
I argue. I take your argument, and I say it's all a cycle. Like, I don't think there's an end goal of who will take it. Like, I think there are cycles. You know, we see Nintendo or layered, maybe it's layered, because we see Nintendo that would still win amongst the younger audience. Like, families will still buy a Nintendo over a PC just because they want to pay attention to what their kids are playing. They want it in the living room. They want it where they still have some control over how their kids are accessing it. Where a PC, that's usually something you need to really set up in a household, have the space to do it. It's going to cost you a little bit more, and it's not as accessible for young kids to get on and play. Especially with all the news that's coming out with Roblox, where that was kind of the in for young PC gamers. I don't think we're seeing it as much anymore. I think PC, if you're looking at more core gamers, more hardcore gamers, yeah, I think that is, like Steve's saying, like we're already there at that point. But I don't think it's as easy as before. And this is how the gaming industry evolved. It's not, just a battle between the top companies. It's really a battle for attention, right? As all media is. And you can layer that into demographics.
I don't disagree with that aspect, that last part that you said, but I think that in a way, like, yeah, I can see where you're saying with Steve, like basically like we're kind of already there now, because it's like we have like game or PCs. I think there's a lot more PCs that can be able to play, like still play games within the past 6-7 years that are more. There's more of them out there than there are of consoles at this moment. Because the thing is, consoles. It's only like 200 million like console owners essentially out there right now, and it's the same number that rarely ever kind of like has gone up. Like they're all fighting for the same amount of players. But PC gaming, as more PCs are becoming more powerful to be able to run the even just the basic levels of games from a whole, but like basically Steam is winning out in the end. And it just imagine if Steam decided to be like, hey, we're gonna open up a subscription service. If they do that, it's over.
Yeah.
I don't think they have the content.
I don't think they'd ever do it, to be honest.
They have Half-Life and Team Fortress 2 and Portal, and I'd be like, all right,
they would have to make a lot of deals. Like if Game Pass really flops, it'll be interesting to see if one of the big companies like Steam come in and say we want to invest in these third-party studios and see if we could do something like Game Pass on our platform.
I mean, honestly, I think we should all just unanimously be like, I'm just gonna buy games. Like, fuck it. Like, let's just get rid of straight fuck it all. Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Walmart.
What are you proposing? What's my split here if I say yes?
Yeah. What's our creator code?
Walmart loyalty plans going on, or
big hug.
Or if you find the old Game Pass cards that were the old pricing.
Well, that's why GameStop's memeing on them, being like, "Hey, our prices are not going up because they have."
I don't know that store. I'm sorry, I only know Walmart.
Oh,
no,
Walmart.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need you to.
What do you got, Walmart?
That, Marcel.
What you got over there, Walmart?
I like that. GameStop that.
It's still on for $22 right now for a month. So.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Stack up until 2020.
Stack them.
What's gonna last longer, your Game Pass subscription or Game Pass?
Game Pass subscription, probably.
Am I gonna get money back?
Right. It's such an interesting topic.
I return all of these Game Pass?
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of an awkward transition phase for Xbox. Like their goal is obviously to be Apple TV.
But they just keep shooting themselves. They shot their foot off. They're not shooting themselves in the foot.
So they're
going up a leg now.
That they've obviously done wrong. This price thing is kind of not. It's obviously landing terribly for them. Yeah. But it's also like the thing that's harder to swallow is for the people that bought into their promises and bought the hardware. It's $10 more a month for this service than it is on PC. So like, what is the incentive to stay in that ecosystem? It doesn't really exist anymore if you're the hardware owner, which is why like it's harder to sell the consoles, and you're seeing stores like Costco drop it.
Yeah.
Like that's the reality is nobody wants to buy it. So
you make a good point with like the whole Apple TV thing. Like think of Apple TV as a subscription service. When it came out, there was like nothing. Ted Lasso was the only thing holding up Apple TV for the longest time. Mm-hmm. And then they came out with these great shows, The Studio, The Morning Show, Severance. Like these are all great shows, but still the quantity of great shows is not there. Xbox went the other way. They were going for quantity. We have all these games in your library that you'll never play ever, but you'll recognize the names because you've heard of them when you grew up with them.
Yeah, but they duplicated the Netflix model basically.
The quality of it was just not great. If they went that way of Apple TV, where it's like, okay, look, we're coming out with this Game Pass, it's going to be a low subscription fee, and we're trying to focus on getting good quality games. Like even if it's like 50 games a year on the subscription fee, and like you have 10 of them that are great, every year. They could have won with just that model. Just keeping it simple.
What do they have? The three that they have that might get noms for Game of the Year on Game Pass day one were Hollow Knight, Expedition 33, which
Hollow
is
Knight doesn't count.
Hollow Knight's day
Pass.
one.
It's not. That's not their game.
I'm just saying that we're on the service
Like
day
in
one.
terms
Like
of
if you had it.
Bought it
Oh,
at release.
yeah.
Like they had Hollow Knight, they had Expedition 33, and they had Blueprints.
Yeah.
So like those are like really great gets for them. I'm sure that they have some other things going too, but like the transition phase from doing the hardware hurts, especially for the people that bought into the hardware. Because now that if you're going to be the Apple TV, the cool thing about Apple TV is like you can obviously have Apple TV Plus and have your Severance or your Ted Lasso, but you can also buy shows on the service and watch them. So that's going to be their goal. If they can do that, I don't know. And if they can compete with someone like a PlayStation who might eventually do the same thing.
Well, that was always the selling point for developers was exactly that. As you said, it was you could have your game on Game Pass, but you can also sell your game on other platforms at the same time. And that, like, I don't know. I still think that there probably has been some great deals of Xbox courting studios and putting their games on Game Pass, because as we heard from time and time again, is that like it gave studios a guaranteed sales amount, so that way they don't like shut down, or they're not having to rely on like on the game's launch to be really well. They know they're going to be okay, and they can move on to potentially future projects. It just what keeps them going. But again, it's when you still need the player base, and if who knows how many like the players have lost. I think that if it's going back to the thing we were talking about earlier, if they're going to basically if they're going to roll back on this price hike, is probably the same thing as what Disney had to do for Jimmy Kimmel when basically everyone was canceling their Disney Plus subscriptions.
Yeah.
A lot of people are canceling their Game Pass subscriptions or downgrading right now, and I think that that's the finally, I think, the wake up call that hopefully maybe might, like, if there's any percentage chance of Xbox can come out of this, is that maybe that's the wake up call for Microsoft to be like, well, maybe we shouldn't actually keep increasing prices. We should, maybe like roll it back to kind of back where way it was and make the service better for the consumers. I hope that's the case.
Do you think they have the pull, if they were to do that, to get people to rejoin Game Pass subscription?
Probably not. It may just be that the damage has already been done. But this is
the question I want to propose to the group, because I'm very curious. So next year, 25th anniversary of Xbox. This is their kind of like make do for the blunder 20th anniversary when Halo Infinite didn't come out, but like they're structuring as like the best of like, we're releasing Forza, we're releasing Halo, we're releasing Gears, we got Fable, blah blah blah. Do you think going into this year, 2026, they'll be able to have enough goodwill to win some players over? And if not, what the fuck happens next?
I
have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I think they obviously, Gears of War E-Day, they got this new Halo project on the horizon. I think even Riley dropped a little potential breaking news in a group chat but maybe there's going to be like a Halo 1 remake of some kind.
Is that rumor back again?
Yeah, I guess so.
I think it's happening.
So like, okay, like, they got some stuff happening. It's just like
it's very core Xbox gamer stuff, though.
Yeah. It's
so
not,
I think they have to lower expectations.
Yeah.
And not think that this is going to break gaming industry news. Like, this is not going to break like a Wolverine trailer thing coming out. Like, your Gears, yes, I think like you will have those moments, but the hype won't last long enough for when the games actually release. Like, people won't be tracking the releases as they are tracking Wolverine coming out, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no comparison there for Xbox, and I think that's the thing. Their expectations have not lived up to what they hoped, and I think they still have to keep that mentality, and however they decide to turn that around, if it is with the help of now putting in TV shows into Game Pass, I think that's the only saving grace they would have.
What TV show do you want them to throw in there?
Oh God!
You know what?
Honestly, the Fallout Prime show.
If they get Apple's like Apple TV on Game Pass, I'd be happy, just because like with Apple TV, there's the shows that I love. They're really good quality shows, but again, the quantity isn't there. Like where I'm like, man, I wish I could like just binge something that's on there that I just want to watch and like get rid of another service. You know, like,
I don't
You
know
want
if
them
I
to
want
keep
any
that at
more
$30?
hybrid
That's the thing, though. That's been very tough.
I don't want them,
is,
but I don't think they'll be able to roll back. I don't think they'll be able to roll back.
Even if Xbox wasn't trying to say we're just going to throw as many games into Game Pass as possible to try and like create the illusion of the value there, like it's unfortunate, and this is hard to control, right? You're not going to be able to get the best writers in the world, but if they were to try and just focus on that quality, if they were to say, we really want the next Gears to be so good, to be Game of the Year worthy, so that the value proposition of getting it on Game Pass is really high. But like, they just haven't had that level of success. Halo Infinite, although it was like better, obviously, than Halo
Like
5 and
popped
maybe even
like,
Halo
because of
4.
the free to play element.
Definitely, like it was a big jump, but it was one of those things where people were like, this still doesn't hit. It still doesn't give you that. It doesn't scratch that same itch that like Halo 3 or even like Halo Reach would have. And they haven't had that success with any of their first party titles. Senua's Saga, which looked to be like this was going to be their big Game of the Year worthy game, still comes out to kind of mixed reviews or people just not loving it the way that you might have expected after you saw that reveal trailer. They just haven't had that like banger after banger after banger like when you look at PlayStation's library.
Is that because of the perception of Xbox and the lack of new players?
No, I think it's
Like,
they haven't brought
put out
out
some good games this year.
Yeah.
Like Senua's Sacrifice, like still good game. But I think it's just there's not enough players that are getting their hands on it, that are giving it the time of day because they're so committed to other platforms.
But I think objectively speaking, these games are still just okay. I love Avowed. Avowed is like a top 5 game of the year for me, but I'm not going to be here and say that's still to the level of like Ghost of Yotei or something like that. My going to Aaron, I think that you're really onto something where I think if Game Pass has a future at all, they really have to just knock down the perception of more equals more value. Like having 400 games on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate means absolutely nothing to a player.
Quantity isn't always quality.
When you look at the list and it's like, oh, here's all the Assassin's Creed games going all the way back to Assassin's Creed 2. It's like, who gives a shit? Like, let's be totally honest. I would much rather them come out and be like, no, instead of 400 games, you're getting 50 games and they're all gonna blow you away. We're gonna make the best damn Halo game. We're gonna make the best Gears of War game that goes toe to toe with anything PlayStation comes out, and that's gonna be a proven success. But I would be willing to spend $30 per month on games that I know are gonna be 9 out of 10s, not 8s.
And I know the servers are going to stay up. I know my friends are going to want to keep playing these games, and you're going to have that commitment from it, right?
I think the thing is too is that it's like they keep like they've had many opportunities to do that over the course of the past few years. Halo Infinite, they put a lot of effort into that. That did not hit too well. Even like you said, going to Avowed, like it was a decent game, but it just did not have that breakout. Like there hasn't been an Xbox game that has sort of permeated the conversation within just the gaming community. Like yes, we know we're in a bubble,
saying, right? Like,
but it's like we like as you said, it's like we haven't like this year the conversation has been around Expedition 33. It's been around Blueprints. It's been around Silk Song, but it hasn't really but they've all yes, you're right. They all have been day one on Game Pass, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things because they're still buying those games on other platforms and also buying those games separately outside of Game Pass.
When you look into the competition in the last couple of years, you'll have something like a Tears of the Kingdom on Nintendo where it's just dominated. It's nominated for almost every single Game of the Year award, right? Or Astrobot wins Game of the Year for PlayStation. This year, we're already talking about how Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotei could be in the talks for a Game of the Year nominee. And so, it is very unfortunate that Xbox just hasn't ever reached that level of success. Maybe not ever. I shouldn't say ever, but in the last while. Like Riley was saying,
I think
indie might get a shot. Maybe.
I think they have good games, great games. That
Thumbs up.
good games and great games, but they don't make the best games.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where
they have not had that 9, 10 out of 10 game. They've got a lot of great 7 and 8s, and we always talk about keep playing those games because there's going to be a game for everybody that people can enjoy.
For sure.
But in order for them to even compete on a larger level, they need those games because that's really at the end of the day, that's what like going back to the old model. That's what used to sell consoles. That we have not had a console seller from Xbox in probably, I would say, was it conservative to say like over a decade? At this point,
they don't sell the consoles.
Even Infinite was supposed to be the big launch game. It was supposed to be like, this is what we're launching with. We're changing everything with Halo. We're finally gonna bring you back to that old Halo feel. And they couldn't hit the date. And they couldn't hit the date.
They missed by a year.
Yeah, by an entire year. And it's like that hype has a shelf life, and they've never been able to capitalize on it. I feel like meanwhile, like again,
haven't been able to recover since Bungie.
Look at Nintendo, right? Look at Nintendo. They launch with Mario Kart World. People love it. Not very long after, you get Donkey Kong Bonanza, and now everyone's like, this is for some people game of the year. For a lot of people, they're like, this is a shoe-in for a nomination. Absolutely, So like that is what you want out of the console that you purchased, right? You want them to be like releasing these massive games that have all this hype surrounding them and that deliver on that hype. And then obviously, PlayStation, even though they've taken their time, they have absolutely taken their time, and they deserve some criticism for that, no doubt about it. But look now, we get this state of play at the end of September, brand new reveal for a Wolverine game, and it's all everyone is talking about, right? Like, exactly. The
Marvel Token, like they're
Marvel
rolling
Token. I know, exactly. They're going crazy with the amount of first-party titles, and they're also just all these games that like you can like put your trust into. You know what I mean? Like you hear that Sucker Punch is making a new Ghost of game, and you're like, I got faith that it's going to be pretty damn good. Maybe it's not going to be a masterpiece like the last one or something, but I think it's going to be pretty damn good. And it is, right? Like you just can put your faith and put your chips into these games, into these franchises, and trust that PlayStation and their studios are going to deliver, and they always do. But with Xbox, it's like, okay, we got Avowed. I hope it's good. Like, I'm crossing my face. Okay, we got like a new Halo. Maybe this is the one, guys. Maybe they're finally gonna crack the code.
As much as there's hype around it, I don't think Outer Worlds 2 is gonna be that much of a hit. Like, it's gonna be a good hit. People are gonna enjoy it, but it ain't gonna be the thing that's gonna sell the service or sell the console.
I think they've got a really good 2026 lined up.
Sure,
but I don't.
That's if games come out. They've been canceling everything.
That's the thing. Yeah, so like that's what I was saying. Like a year and a bit ago, they were showing us Perfect Dark. I'm like, it's going to be incredible. You're going to love it. And now that's just gone forever. So it's like, I don't actually trust them to deliver on these because they haven't yet. For 2 generations, they haven't given me that.
It's that.
Sammy, hold on 1 second here. Sammy, what you gotta say? What you gotta sing for us?
I'm not singing.
No.
There we go.
Maybe.
Perfect. Nice.
The mic is sounding perfect.
Perfect.
Poor Sammy with her mic issues.
Been waiting for 20 minutes.
What do you think, Sammy? What do you think?
I was too focused on my mic issues, but
Sammy,
what do you think of the quality of Xbox's games release?
I'm still always going to come back to, like, out of the gaming industry, anyone who gets an Xbox game or a Game Pass is only going to be playing 2 to 3 games. So I don't think the value is going to be there. Do I think they're going to lower the price at this point? No, because then they would have to admit that they oversold it, which they're not going to do because they're just trying to keep growing and being like, wow, we're the best. But also 3 months later, let's fire 300 people plus.
Yeah. That's a really good point because I actually think they have a talent retention issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that too.
Which is causing this. So, I mean, what's the job stability look like? And if you're one of those studios, I mean, I don't know if I'd want to stick around,
they're probably starting to talk to PlayStation like, hey, so what's happening with PlayStation Plus next year?
I mean, PlayStation Plus it ain't cheap either, but
no, it isn't. Yeah. But the thing is, again, the quality of the games that are accessible on PlayStation Plus, you're more likely to keep a PlayStation Plus membership because you're like, okay, this AAA game that everyone was buzzing about a year ago, I now can play on PlayStation
I think
Plus.
If PlayStation would really if they really wanted to take kick Xbox when it's down, if they all of a sudden turn around tomorrow and says, okay, day one, get PlayStation Studio games on PlayStation Plus, that's it. It's over. Game Pass is over.
They would increase the price for that.
But I don't think they would do that.
I don't think they would do
I don't think they will.
If
they were to, it's obviously a much better value.
Yeah,
it is.
We talked about this, right? Trying to make sense of Game Pass, the original model that Xbox sold to us. How does it make sense for Xbox? We found out it didn't really make sense for some of the studios. Studios were coming out talking about how, they're actually not seeing that retention that they were hoping or seeing that payoff. It's more like the fact that their game's on it. It just gives them views, but doesn't really help them sell their games and make money so they can make another game.
Yeah.
And I think Game Pass, the model on its own as it was sold, doesn't make a good sense for business for these studios.
And some of the studios themselves have even said that, right?
Like they have.
You got whistleblowers who are like, guys, this is not good for us.
But think of if they're saying that. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. We're seeing it now for Xbox. If PlayStation were to adopt something like that, which is why I don't think they would, it would not make sense business-wise for them.
No.
They could make more money in other ways, which is unfortunate for us because it was like a real grace for consumers if it worked out the way that it was supposed to.
Yeah.
But it just isn't there for the business.
And imagine if Xbox was, like I was saying, right? And to kind of go off what you were saying there, Steve Saylor, imagine if Xbox was trying to stay in the race. Imagine if they're like, guys, the next Elder Scrolls is going to be exclusive to Xbox. It's going to be coming day and date to Game Pass. Imagine if they're like Blade from Arcane. That's going to be exclusive to Xbox. And they were saying that these games are also going to be coming to Game Pass. You could put PlayStation in a position where they consider the Game Pass model, where they're like, guys, should we have something like that for PlayStation? I don't think we'll ever see a situation where PlayStation does something like that with like PS Plus, where you got like a Marvel's Wolverine coming to PlayStation Plus subscribers or whatever on the same date of release. But you maybe could have put them in a position of saying, all right, Astrobot, or like a Saros, like one of these titles that isn't necessarily going to be their system sellers, but are going to be like bigger releases, first party releases, where they're like, all right, we need to compete with Game Pass now because there is quite a bit of value there and it's making them a ton of profit. But because Xbox just has been so out of the game and they're like, Indiana Jones, it'll be on Xbox for 3 months and then it's coming to PlayStation in the spring. You know what I mean? Or like Gears of War, here you go, PlayStation players, like enjoy one of our tentpole exclusives.
Yeah.
Or probably whenever the next Halo comes around, you're going to see that end up on PlayStation as well. Because they've completely conceded, there is no chance that PlayStation would ever consider this business model. They have no reason to. Yeah. People are buying PS5s for Wolverine, for Spider-Man, for even Death Stranding, a game that is probably going to be a timed exclusive. Most people aren't aware of that at first and aren't, they're not announcing that or making that really upfront. So they're thinking that it's a PlayStation exclusive, or a Ghost of Yotei, Astrobot, Saros. Like, there's just such an endless library of titles for you to want to buy, and people are buying them. People are into it. And so, they're never going to adopt that model, unfortunately, although they could have been scared into doing it if there was competition.
So Camille's sad, everyone. We need to stop talking about this sadness here. So we need to talk about some Wolverine, some good news here. EA was bought by Saudi Arabia, $55 billion.
Oh,
there's the news.
Goodness.
That's more sadness. Can't handle that. So let's talk about some Wolverine. Let's punch and claw and cut some stuff up. Caboose, you're the lead man on this. Take it away.
All right, give me 1 sec.
There we go. Yeah, where we go.
Costume change.
I want to reveal.
I love it. This is going to be great.
It's gonna be
awesome.
If I'm going to talk Wolverine,
we got the
I
exclusive.
need to do it right, okay?
Right.
You got Henry Cavill with him.
Oh my god.
It's the Calvarine.
If I'm gonna we got to do this right. You know what I'm saying?
It's the cabooserine.
The cabooserine.
This is the thumbnail.
I'm the best there
Can you
is
see
at what I
Will
do.
through that?
Yeah. I
Well,
see
the
a cigar now.
Wolverine.
Yeah, this 80s cigar.
Can you just
get like
do
a
it all
chocolate
day?
bar
Like
of them
order
keep-
food and then your delivery driver just pulls up to that mask on your face.
Order for caboose. Yeah, right here.
Yeah,
Heads up.
that's me. Yeah.
That's me. Yeah.
Oh, don't mind the mask. It's just something. Yeah.
That's super legit though.
Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
a really cool mask.
Yeah.
Like it looks
So-
like it's not real. It looks so legit.
Like it
It's
looks
like-
yeah,
right?
It looks really good.
Thank you. So we got some Wolverine gameplay.
Yeah.
Everyone
I can't take it seriously.
What?
Hey,
No,
I say leave it on. Don't
We
listen to
got the
that.
Wolverine game.
right.
No, leave it
Guys,
on. You
we're
can't
celebrating.
take it off.
Listen to him.
So everyone was speculating, everyone was talking about it. You know, there's this big state of play at the end of the month. We were like, is this going to be the one? Are we finally going to get some gameplay or some new trailer? Stop it, Riley.
Keep it together,
Stop it.
Riley.
So this is serious.
This is serious.
It sounds serious.
This is not a joke. God,
Yeah,
unprofessional,
Marcel, you need to showcase this.
unbelievable.
You put him right in the spot. You know what? Hey, take the whole highlight. Oh, go right
There you
ahead.
go.
There's the thumbnail.
Right there. 100 episodes.
Bub?
I have the claws too somewhere. I don't know where I put them. But,
Oh,
You have the
Don't tell us
jacket
that.
too for Logan, right?
I
Logan
do.
jacket,
I do.
yeah.
Right.
That's my Halloween costume this year, actually. So yeah, we got the new trailer. All right.
new trailer. Got a new
I'm
trailer.
gonna mute.
It looks good.
Here. Hold on. I'll go back. I'll go back to normal. Because
Yeah, can you get Aaron back here? Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Logan.
So we
Thanks
can
for
take the
stopping by,
show
Logan.
seriously.
Appreciate
Sorry,
it.
that's just the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'll go back to
It's just
you for
Wolverine
taking-
talking about the
Your
Wolverine
busy schedule.
game is the funniest thing I've ever seen. That's so good.
Riley can't focus. I guess
I'm
we'll.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
No,
that I
no,
ruined
don't
Yeah,
worry, don't
don't
worry.
worry. Are you gonna?
We'll go
are you
back
gonna-
to
what
normal.
the heck?
You change your shirt?
No, what are you talking about? No, it's actually been this shirt.
Yeah, it's been that shirt the whole time. Yes.
So you know we're
Oh my
Season
god.
4.5 coming out.
we got a new
Busy
season
guy.
of Marvel Rivals coming, new
my
character. I'm
Question
really excited
is,
about
do you
it.
have
Mass Effect helmet. Right
Do you
now?
have
I don't
an
know.
Angela costume now? That's the real question.
Yes. No, I actually got an Emma Frost costume coming
Oh,
out.
okay.
Make
I'll
sure
spare
it's
you guys. I'll
rated
spare
G.
Which
you.
version? Emma?
Yeah.
The Marvel
Marvel
Rivals
Rivals
version?
version? Can we
Yeah.
show this?
Yeah.
This podcast is finally 100 episodes. Good check it.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh,
there
we go.
Oh, Caboose, you missed so much. Wolverine was there.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
Daredevil
really?
here.
Matt Murdock was here.
Mac Murdock was here.
No
yeah.
way. I guess Wolverine was probably here to celebrate that we did get a brand new trailer for the game.
How'd you
at
know?
The state of play. Just a lucky
Transition.
guess. Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome. It was everything that I had been hyped up for, and it was everything that I was hoping for out of a Wolverine trailer. It was bloody. It was gory. He was slicing people up, but also there was a ton of little reveals in the actual trailer. You know, we got the couple of villains that we know are going to be in the end. The Reavers.
Are
going to be one of the
Mega Red looks
Omega Red.
And Mystique.
popping up.
Mystique looks sick as well.
Mystique, which, like, based on, a lot of the speculation in the community, some people are thinking
may
maybe she's
play?
going to be playable, Insomniac obviously is not, they don't shy away from allowing other playable characters in these superhero games, except at least now in this instance, it might be a bit more of an exciting prospect because maybe you'll get some other X-Men characters out there.
Sentinels are there.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
man.
we are going to go toe-to-toe against the Sentinel. Trask Industries is involved. There's all these different locales that we're going to be visiting in the game. It was confirmed in their little Vidoc that they did after the reveal trailer that you're going to be able to go to like the snowy wilderness of Canada. So we're going to be on the home turf for both Wolvie and for all the people here on the podcast, which is nice. But also you're going to be going to Tokyo, Japan. and then the fictional city of Madripoor. So there's going to be a lot of really cool ideas and concepts, I imagine, that they're trying to execute on here. And they obviously, the character of Wolverine has a bit of globetrotting to him when you read his comic books and when you just know kind of the lore of the character. So it's really cool that Insomniac is staying true to that, right? Like, we're not just in one location that's like an open world or something like that. No, we're bouncing from place to place.
Also with the globetrotting thing, right? Like, one of the things that they did say, which, you know, because I'm like, okay, how is this game going to progress if he's going to like these very different places? And then they're like, also, you know, he's not a like reliable narrator, because we know Wolverine Logan has gaps in his memory.
Right.
So I'm wondering if these will be flashbacks as well, if we're going to see him try to piece together some of the things that happened to him.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this.
That seems to be kind of the initial setup of the story, is that there's some stuff that has happened in his past that he is trying to kind of unearth or relearn or try to remember. And so there's all these characters and things that he's going to run into along the way, whether it's the Reavers, whether it's Omega Red, Mystique, or a Sentinel. And it just looks awesome. It just looks like a ton of fun. And what I was very excited about is that they promised towards the end of their Vidoc that we're going to learn more and get more information on the game in spring of 2026. And we did get an official release window, which was, I was speculating this, not that crazy to even speculate it this way, though, is that it was coming out in fall of 2026. So
makes sense.
Probably this time next year, I think we'll have it in our hands.
Yeah. The Insomniac has been pretty good about their fall releases, for the previous game. So yeah, man.
I can't wait.
Trailer,
I just can't wait. So I've watched it over and over. Liam McIntyre is playing the role of Wolverine, the second Aussie to embody the character of Wolverine.
The third being you.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Give it time.
But yeah, I think it's like one of the best things, you know, with the rumors of Wolverine, we knew like that first teaser trailer, it would be a little bit more grittier. But to see how gritty Insomniac has made it, even though it's in the same universe as the Spider-Man games, it would, like, the amount of blood and decapitation and like just the splatter was just so amazing. And I'm so happy that they're going that route, because it is a character that is gritty himself. Like, it is Logan. Like, it is a character.
You almost can't do a Wolverine game without it being like this. Even the Wolverine Origins, great game, great like from a gameplay perspective, but it not really going as far into it being a mature rated game as it should have, even for its time. I think really held it back from even being considered like one of the best superhero games, period.
I'd argue that up until that point, because we had gotten all the X-Men movies and because it was a tie-in to those X-Men movies, everyone was expecting that it was going to be that sort of held back version of the character that isn't truly unleashed. But I think it was because the movie that it was based off of had gotten delayed that it then subsequently delayed the game. So they were like, guys, can we just go all out and give this an M rating? And they somehow got the go ahead. And that, I feel like that's a part of the reason why that game has stood the test of time.
For sure.
In the
I just feel like they could have gone even more in that game.
Well, I mean, like there was a dev in the Vidoc that even said it's like, well, we thought about maybe going a little, but we thought maybe this might be a little too far. Yeah. And then they decided, screw it, let's just do it. They went for it.
That's that part where he stabs the guy through the
head. But it's like, that's exactly from Logan, right? Like I think because we've seen Wolverine be so gritty and like something like Logan or like Deadpool and Wolverine is because that gives them reason to go a little bit further. I just feel sorry for Caboose, because him being a superhero content creator, how are you streaming this on like any platform and putting videos?
I thought about this. And I'm playing a game right now that is quite bloody and features some dismemberment in Ghost of Yotei. There is a feature in the game that does allow you to turn all of that off.
Yeah,
I really wouldn't be surprised with another PlayStation Studios game, and in this case, a Marvel game, where they're like, okay, there will be an option to turn that off in gameplay. I don't know. The only thing is I don't know what you do in cutscenes, because that opening part of the trailer where he literally rips a guy in half, that looks like it's a cutscene, so I don't know how you'd really kind of shy away
Maybe
from it in
they'll
that
blur it out.
instance.
I kind of hope that's just the tip of the iceberg. I hope it gets
Oh,
a bit
it's gotta
gorier.
be. It's
Yeah.
gotta be. Yeah. I'm sure there's gonna be some stuff in there where you're like, damn, they are pushing the limits.
They could go. They could go even like the other way too. Like because in Yote, yeah, you can turn the gore off, but you can also even play it in I can't remember that other mode that literally increases the blood in the mud too. So
Quentin Tarantino mode, is that it?
Basically,
essentially,
it's less focus on
Seriously. Yeah.
I have a question for the group.
Okay.
So obviously, Spider-Man and Wolverine are polar opposites in the way they handle some of the violence.
Yep.
If they release a Venom game, do they lean Wolverine? Or
I
do
think they
lean...
do. I think they because the Venom playable section of Spider-Man 2 was also kind of Insomniac being like, how far can we go? Because there are takedowns where Venom picks a dude up and you can watch him struggle to break the guy in half.
Yeah,
like what he did to Craven,
murdering
the Craven part.
The one time you could.
The Craven part, and I think to your like Riley, your question as well. Like I would love to see that if it's like focused mostly on like Logan and Peter Parker. I think that would be like if Miles were to get into it, it'd be more like a disconnect for the character that Miles is. Yeah. But it could play into being shocked and like kind of shying away from that battle if they were to do a Venom game. But yeah, that would be so cool. I have a question though. Who's the big bad? Because like they did reveal quite a lot. Like they did reveal the Reavers. They did obviously we know the Sentinels are at play. We know that, but who do we think the big bad is? Is he going back to try to be
Sinister?
Do you think it's Sinister?
It could be a situation of Mr. Sinister. There's obviously some people could think that it's maybe Trask. You could even just go as simple as it's Stryker, right? Like that's the quintessential. Or if you're talking about his arch nemesis, who like I'm honestly surprised they didn't show him in the trailer because there's no way he's not in the game.
Could be later on.
Sabretooth, right?
Sabretooth,
and so there's a lot of options.
How they set it up with his memory, there's things that happen. I do think we see Logan in very different times of his life. We know that we're going to see him as an X-Men, and I think those interactions with Sentinels and seeing other mutants.
Do you think that this version of Wolverine is already a part of the X-Men or isn't aware of that?
I don't think so yet.
I think you get recruited.
He's wearing the suit though.
He is though because he's wearing the suit, and
he's wearing the suit.
I think we go back.
But no X iconography on this.
There's no X on it. It's kind of is the suit kind of brown a bit too?
Right?
Yeah. Well, it's the yellow suit. It's yellow.
Neil had an interesting idea there, was maybe he starts as an X-Man and then goes back.
That's an interesting idea.
Leaves.
I mean, the game does start where he's drinking at a bar, right? So him reflecting on his life kind of makes sense.
Could be.
Listen, in a perfect world for someone like me, one of my favorite Wolverine villains and just X-Men villains in general is Silver Samurai. I mean, if we're going to Japan, I would love to see them.
Oh, hell yeah.
Maybe that's just my love for like samurai games and just that whole vibe.
I think we're going to see him, right? Because they're
in Japan.
They're in
right?
Japan.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Mariko, is that her name?
Mariko, yeah.
Mariko. We they're referencing that gang, right? So I feel like the whole Silver Samurai, how it is in the comics, and her references, that could be another like flashback scenario. And we've seen the storyline in like movies and in the shows as well, where it's like Logan is trying to understand how he what really happened with his skeleton and like who really did that. They could go that route, but are we tired of that storyline? Do we want to see something new? And that's the question I pose for you guys.
Because I don't know, because this isn't the situation of like, all right, we don't need to see Uncle Ben dying again. Mm-hmm. Wolverine is a character that I feel like in the mainstream audience is popular for a very baseline reason, right? He's cool, he has claws, and he kills people. Not a lot of people are privy to his origins and the world around Wolverine. And so I feel them treating this as a introduction for a lot of people of who this character is in the comic books is the right move. I think just going into and delving into all the stuff where maybe a comic reader will already kind of know about it is still the best route to take with this character.
I think that, I mean, the same could have been said about Spider-Man as well, and they didn't do necessarily the origin story for Insomniac's version. So,
but what I'm saying is with Spider-Man, it's like a lot of people have already gotten and understood the origin of the character.
I think so, but it, like, obviously based off of its history, but like if we're talking even just the modern sort of audiences where we all grew up with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, we also grew up with Bryan Singer's X-Men, we kind of did learn about it. I mean, not to say that they won't. I mean, I think that they're not going to, like, I don't care that if they do or they don't. But I think I like the idea of it being like he's been Wolverine for a while, and he's been, maybe this could be. I like the story idea of it being maybe post him leaving the X-Men or Professor. Like, I think that could be a really cool take and be a very interesting sort of, like, because he's finding his way and he's, maybe he's trying to find his roots going back to Canada or going to Japan, or because they said that this is more a Golden Path linear game than necessarily an open world that they've done.
I mean, you
before,
can just
right?
kind of infer that too, just based on the way that they're doing everything.
Because this is something new even for Insomniac, because a lot of their games have been open world or at least a large map. So it's going to be interesting to see them jump from location to location.
Well, it's good that they're going more in the style of, or at least the route of, like a Ratchet and Clank, right? Where it's more just like everything's kind of level based and mission based, rather than just like, here's the big city that you can just kind of go nuts in. But yeah, like I do think as well, like the inclusion of a character like Mystique implies a lot to the X-Men roots of Wolverine here, right? So yeah, I can
mean, even
see
just
it
the
both
Sentinels
ways.
alone, like that kind of like shows he's had encounters with them before.
Well, it's interesting too, because it was mentioned in the PlayStation blog that the Sentinel he is facing off against specifically is a prototype. And I feel like that sort of verbiage to me, it, like, as like a comic book fan, it means a lot in terms of context, right?
Okay.
But then you also have the Sentinel Primes as well, which is interesting. So you're getting kind of,
and you never know what you could get into there. Exactly.
There is something that I want to bring up, and this is kind of like outside the theory crafting of the game itself, and this is kind of talking about more of the game, because clearly it falling into a fall 2026 release date clearly means this game struggled a lot. This game was announced in 2021.
Do you think?
Well, Brian Horn left the game. You don't lose a creative director when the game's going well, in my opinion. Leaks happened.
I think though the fall 2026 release puts it as just like a normal 5-year development time. No,
I think they just announced it really early because they had Spider-Man as well, so they're like that game. And that,
but I know
we were used to like a very short turnaround from like a lot of Insomniac, because they had the original Spider-Man 2018, then they had Miles Morales in 2020. Then they had Spider-Man 2 in 2022.
Well, they had Ratchet and Clank in 2021.
Yeah,
they had Spider-Man 2 in 2023.
So we're only like, we're
pretty on track.
I mean, whether or not the track is there, Brian Horn did leave for unknown reasons.
Sure. Oh, of course.
Like someone had to come in. Marcus Smith had to come in and kind of take the reins on this game. There was a massive leak that clearly affected the output of this game as well. What I'm really curious about now that we do have this fall 2026 window, that was clearly not going to be the case. And I'm really wondering what was supposed to be in fall 2026 to begin with.
Oh,
are you
PlayStation?
Are you saying from Insomniac or from PlayStation?
No, I'm just saying in PlayStation in general, because like, we're going into the assumption that ever since Returnal was out, Housemarque was eyeing for Soros, eyeing for a early 2026 release date. They seem pretty confident in what they've shown at that last state of play. It looks really good. I think that they're confident in nailing that. But if
we're talking about like any sort of like already been announced games that we're kind of waiting to hear more information on, could be Intergalactic, from Night Dog.
Yeah. Or it could be something that we don't know at all, but I just find it very interesting that something happened at Insomniac. This game, to me, knowing some of the leaks and everything, knowing that some of the information out there, that timeline got really fucked up. And that fall 2026 belonged to a different game. Like,
I had a feeling I had a feeling for a while that the reason why that Ghost of Yote is kind of the big PlayStation release of this year, that they moved that to fall of 2025, and we were supposed to get Ghost of Yote earlier, and then Spider-Man the same year.
I could see everything would have been like a year prior than what we inevitably got, and I can also say like we can maybe liken that to what happened with Brian Horton, right? Like maybe he had his contract. He's like, guys, I'm going to put everything I got into this Wolverine game. But I have this offer, or my contract is up with Insomniac on XYZ date or whatever, and it was maybe going to be sometime this year. And he was expecting, or at least they were at one point projecting for Wolverine to come out in the fall of this year. And that's where Brian Horton's whole situation ended up arising, right? Him saying, all right, I'm going to Perfect Dark.
It's just crazy. Yeah, he went to Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
You know, everything happened
Next
with
thing you know,
that
spring
game.
2026, we see him back when they're giving more information
maybe.
on Wolverine. Imagine.
Never know.
Who knows?
Now, do you also think because of Insomniac's record, like the expectation is just too high? So do you think they would just take kind of a step back to make sure things are done right?
1000%.
Yeah,
especially
I think
seeing how much leaked from that game. Like,
yeah,
it's pretty 9 days. Like, there were playable builds of Wolverine that people got their hands on and everything. And not that I went too deep into that, but I saw videos and it looked pretty rough. Granted, it was early stage gameplay.
But every game, like honestly, if you'd be surprised about like how rough a game can look even close to launch. Like I've seen it from many different times, just in my sort of consulting days. So
I'm not judging what was released or anything.
Course.
I'm just saying that even based on the the stuff that we saw at the State of Play, you could tell that they went back to the drawing board and they're like, let's improve animations, let's improve like just the way he moved and stuff like that. Even, like they put some extra time into finessing this.
Which I think they have to do with leaks anyways. They have to kind of look at the whole game and revamp it.
I think without the leaks, like if you looked at, okay, I know Twitter is Twitter and the internet is loud and there's just a bunch of noise, right? But certainly there were through all of the nonsense and the garbage, there was feedback on Spider-Man 2 that maybe it was kind of pushed out the door a little quicker than it should have been. And I imagine that some of that feedback and some of even the internal battling from Insomniac pushing back against PlayStation, they might have won some battles with Wolverine to say, guys, give us some extra time. We really want to refine this experience and make sure that what we're putting out isn't in any way a rushed product, right? Like, or at least to the extent that some people consider Spider-Man 2 to be.
I think too, there was obviously like a big service game initiative pushed within PlayStation, and we don't know how that's
there was that too, because we saw that trailer of what was supposed to be.
Was doing something, right? And that's development time that takes away from some of the other things that they're working on.
And the way like even just kind of like looking at, as you said, Steve, like when we were looking at the kind of the footage of the leaks that had happened, like the way kind of giving the sort of the developer side of the conversation, oftentimes whenever any dev is sort of like testing out features or something like that, they kind of use sort of whatever they have available, and more than likely they probably use the Spider-Man like the Manhattan map in order to be able to start building things out, or that like so a lot of times the footage that we see is definitely not even close to what they wanted it to be. It was just probably at a place where they're like, okay, we can play with the mechanics of this. We just need something to kind of like just a world or just a map to be able to put things in. And our character models as is right now, they probably did not have full motion capture ready to go yet. They probably didn't have all the animations for everything. They probably didn't have even half the features that they wanted. I do agree that it probably did delay a little bit because seeing that feedback is like probably a good idea. Like they're probably like, oh, you know what? Actually, this is probably feedback we could definitely use and maybe even change things a little bit. I don't think they kind of went back to start from scratch per se, because that's still that 5 to 6 to 7 years of development time. Even if we're talking like if they started like even a year before they announced it in 2021, I think that it's essentially at like we're getting the game I think that they wanted. I think just maybe a year delayed. I would say that probably is a good conservative way to say it.
Yeah.
Cool.
But at the end of the day, when you do look at it, from reveal to release, it is 5 years of dev time, which is pretty on par with Insomniac and just in general like AAA development.
Yeah, even if we're talking Spider-Man 1 to Spider-Man 2, it was essentially 5 years.
2018 to 2020. The only thing is that some people maybe would have expected at one point or another that it would come out this year, mainly because it's not an open world game and it doesn't look like, in terms of scope, that it's going to be as large.
Yeah, because it's using the same engine, I believe, right?
I think Insomniac's got their own in-house thing, that they're making. But that's what excites me the most too, is like combat and to an extent traversal, but like the animations and everything, like all of that. This is such new ground for them, which is what's most exciting for me, right? Like even the small little snippets that we saw of Wolverine in gameplay, it looks completely different from anything that we have seen them do with Spider-Man or even Ratchet and Clank. So I'm very, very excited to see how unique this is as an Insomniac game compared to their other titles.
Honestly, this is the game that's going to make me fold this late into the cycle and get a PS5.
Hell yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's what they're hoping for from a lot of people.
Do we see this come on out on PC? Maybe
See, the only thing, maybe like
a year later.
Yeah. That's the only downfall for me being like a mainly PC gamer. I miss all the day one for all these games.
Don't you want to wait for PS6 at this point? You're so close.
But like, I'm gonna do I literally bought my Switch like 4 months before Switch 2, so I might as well just keep repeating that and just collect them all like Pokemon.
Honestly.
All right.
Well, with that being said, Steve Riote, what's going on for you the rest of the week?
Oh my goodness.
Just Friday.
Friday. I don't know. I'll play some Call of Duty Black Ops, get in there, get some in-game rewards.
Want to squad up, bro?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get a big squad going up this weekend because, I'm itching to play. But otherwise, no, I'm just kind of playing games. I mean, Ghost of Yote, I want to go for the plat. On that game, so probably chip away at that. But otherwise, just kind of hanging.
Exclusive medal you can buy after you hit it.
I kind of want to, right?
Like,
I think that's a really cool initiative.
Everything, and then I can get like a little case I put on the wall.
Shout out to Bungie, by the way, for pioneering that as a concept.
Oh my God. I have so many things on my shelf here that are from that same type of program. Yeah. It just makes it it makes it worth it when you play these games. It's literally, if I can get like a little gem for platinuming a game, fuck yeah.
Love that. I want the pin from Ghost of Tsushima, but like, it's expensive, and the shipping too is pretty rough. But
I mean, that's about the cost that you're getting from Bungie. Like, these weren't cheap either. So,
to your point, Caboose, at least PlayStation got something worthwhile out of acquiring Bungie, and it's this program.
Fair.
If they got one thing,
out of this acquisition. It's this rewards program.
Cool. Steve Saylor, how about yourself?
Just basically keep working on my YouTube channel, basically talking about latest gaming news. We literally had this week. I know we didn't talk about a lot of it, but we definitely talked about EA with that whole thing, and then we talked about obviously Xbox this week. So just make sure to go check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@SteveSaylor. And then as far as like the weekend or what I'm coming out, I'm playing Borderlands 4 for a thing, which I'm excited about. So I'm
finally got an FOV slider on console.
Yes, they did. And I'm going to continue. I have not finished Ghost of Yote yet. I've done the review for it already, but I'm about 20 to 25 hours in right now. I'm still, I'm basically taking my time throughout the whole story. So I'm like, I've just been playing everything I can. So I'm going to be jumping back into that and so
nice.
That's me.
Right. How about you, Riley?
Not too much.
Working away, same old line.
Working away, plugging away, just grinding away. Yeah, you know what it is. Pretty much just getting ready for.
Dude,
I'm putting my soul out there onto the internet, and you're laughing at me, dude.
You know how it is,
loser.
Dude, grow up, dude. No, I'm just trying to be vulnerable right now. So that's me right now this week. Yeah.
Did you say vulnerable?
Did you say vulnerable?
Yeah, I'm being vulnerable.
Listen,
I heard vulnerable, but I kind of like home right now as well. So I'm like, wait, did you say
I'm just out here being vulnerable. I'm feeling judged for being vulnerable right now. So that's what I get for being vulnerable around you, Marcel. No,
what are you doing?
Wow.
What am I doing?
Like, go over and give Riley a hug or something like that. He needs a hug.
Yeah.
You being vulnerable?
I'm still playing Ghost of Yote as well. I'm going for the plat. I'm trying to get that platinum trophy for it as well, and just exploring as much of it as possible. I also really want to jump into Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I know that demo
a lot of
came
fun.
out.
Yeah. A lot of fun.
Everyone's saying it's really good. And then outside of that, I mean, I'm just watching the trailer.
Are you out there?
For this guy.
No, he can't be vulnerable because he's Logan. He gets
Wolverine.
He just did his 3 claws. His 3 claws. Yeah.
I'm being vulnerable, bub.
I'm so vulnerable, bub.
I need to see a skit of you just walk around the city with that on. Just be downtown Toronto.
I gotta talk to my therapist after. Therapy's important. I'm going through a lot right now.
You say just being vulnerable?
I've been working on my journaling,
Ran out of my cigars. It's making me real sad.
Oh my gosh, so good.
I'm going for long walks.
Yeah.
I feel like every
has been really
episode,
helping me.
every episode, you just need to wear new masks. Oh,
There's a lot of options back there, so just saying.
next episode, Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, Camille, you got to follow that one up. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
I'm just here being vulnerable like Riley, and I'm just enjoying life. I still can't get over the claws you did. You're like,
Gang sign Wolverine. The Wolverine gang.
oh my gosh, so
No.
good. I am gonna be playing Yote. I've been watching a lot of TV, which is kind of disgusting.
The Apple TV. That's why you've been pushing it all episode.
The morning show. Yeah, the morning. Apple.
I've also been watching Love Island.
Give me a subscription to Apple TV for free, please. I will push your shows. They're so good. But yeah, no, I'm just playing Yote and then hanging out. Gonna see you guys tomorrow. For a little Nintendo fun-ish. And then Blops. Gotta play some Black Ops.
Blops.
Oh yeah.
Sammy?
Oh, just lots of work. I'm playing a game called Stuck in the Present, which is a Canadian game. So looking forward to reviewing that.
Cool.
And, just enjoying being on all of your presents for the 100th time.
I have a question, Sammy.
I'm being vulnerable.
Are you being vulnerable?
Sounds like you're being pretty vulnerable right
I'm
now.
being pretty
That's what it sounds
vulnerable
like.
right now.
Not
I
as
feel this
vulnerable
is a
as
safe
Wolverine.
space.
Hold space. Yeah. I'm glad I got my vulnerableness out at the beginning. This is I don't know if I would have been able to handle this.
That was my
I feel
favorite
fine.
moment of the entire podcast, Steve. All right. I
That was,
appreciated it.
Wow.
You're a shining light.
Are you kidding me?
Brought a Wolverine helmet out and everything. And that's your guys' favorite
I
moment.
sat here for an hour and 50 minutes.
Listen, I was distracted by mic issues.
I put on a helmet.
Are you kidding me?
You had more. It's
I
like,
bring the human claws, and you're saying
I turned on my camera. I put on 2 helmets, and you liked it more. Okay.
I got this for nothing.
That was a bonus.
That was
Yeah.
The cherry on top.
All right. For me, I'm trying to finish Silent Hill F. It is a pain in the butt right now. That's my thing. And then on October 6th, I got a big announcement. I'm not telling anyone. You gotta wait.
Tell me now.
Whoa.
I can't.
Hey, what are you talking about?
Oh,
Big
Big
whoa.
announcement.
Say it.
I have an
Announcement.
announcement too. I forgot about.
No, you
I
don't.
Okay.
What the heck?
Only I have an
No,
announcement.
you don't.
I'm part of the Women's Guild now, so that's fun. Twitch
Oh,
Women's
congratulations.
Guild.
Let's go.
Wait, what? I legit
I'm part
missed
of the
that.
Twitch Women's Guild now. So.
Oh, cool! Yay!
Oh.
Yay.
That's awesome.
You guys really forced that yay. Caboose is just so pissed off that we didn't enjoy his moment with the mask.
Technically, Sammy said it. Just saying.
Oh, man. I love it.
It's not a competition, Aaron. It's fine. We all have really great moments
Hey.
on this 100 episodes of this show.
You could win. You could win on the next episode. How about that?
Nobody cares about 101. This was the one.
Now you gotta wait to 200.
Yeah,
Tell
wait
that-
till
Oh, yeah.
I gotta wait a whole nother 100 episodes.
Yeah, tell that to the Dalmatians, damn it.
Perfect.
Wow.
But with that being said, we will see you all on the next episode. Who knows
If
what
there is
this
one.
episode? If there is one, I don't know.
We're done.
So long for this one. At least we're not to wait for everyone for the next one. Who knows? We'll see.
We jumped the claws, is what we did.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Bye, everyone.